Hey guys, I hope everyone had a very beautiful holiday weekend. Welcome to another exciting week of astrology. We have some more intense energetics going on this week, you guys. We are still in the exact square between Saturn and Uranus to start our week this week, although it is no longer exact to the minute, just to the degree. Not that that really has much of a difference on the intensity that we are experiencing with that. There is also some other energy that is going on this week, an emphasis with a conjunction between Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. We also have a Libra moon today speaking to Venus in the conjunction with Pluto. The heat is still turned up, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. Now, I am a day off on my reports this week. This is the energy for Tuesday, and if you stick with me till the end of the report, I'm going to do a brief recap of the energy that I missed for yesterday, Monday, and also what we have pending this week coming at us. We do have a new moon in Capricorn that we are headed towards on Sunday. So energy this week waning out from the full moon that we had, that really intense Saturn, Uranus square exact activation that we had on Christmas Eve, Venus in conjunction to Pluto, and coming out of this eclipse window that we had recently as well, heading towards this new moon that we have coming up on Sunday. So let's talk about the energy for today, you guys. Three main things going on and some pretty serious themes regarding our hero's journey. We are definitely back on a hero's journey today in terms of the energetics. We are being asked to overcome a lot this week, and also today and yesterday, there has been a theme regarding finding where things are out of balance and what needs to happen in order to rectify that out of balance into a place that is in balance and we can actually manage and deal with going forward in the context of these transformations that we've all been going through. So, three main things. Like I said, we have energetically going on today in terms of aspects that I'm looking at. Number one, and they're all kind of fitting together. There's some, like I said, there's kind of some clear themes about what we're working with to open this week, coming out of the energy that we had going on last week and heading towards this new moon that we also have coming up this weekend. And it has a lot to do with we're kind of having a test right now in terms of what we've learned, how far we've come in terms of really stepping into our self-mastery and out of those states of victimhood, and kind of getting a gauge in terms of where we're at right now in this process of this transformation, this internal transformation that we are all undergoing right now collectively as we move towards the age of Aquarius. So first of all, like I said, the first aspect that we have going on is we have this very tight conjunction between three planets in Capricorn. Venus and Pluto, we know that they have been in a conjunction for quite a while. Venus is retrograding back. She's actually on Tuesday for today, no longer in exact conjunction with Pluto. She is retrograded to a degree off, but we also now have Mercury building into this conjunction as well. So Mercury, Venus, and Pluto all joined together in the end of Capricorn. Very strong emphasis energetically today. We also have the moon in Libra, like I said, ruled by Venus, who is in this conjunction, squaring all of these planets, this conjunction of planets in Capricorn today. So all of the energy that they are representing there is being squared by the moon. So there is some type of inherent conflict, breakthrough, tension, energy that is going on today in regards to our emotions, how we're feeling internally, as well as this conglomeration of energy that we're also experiencing. Also today, you guys, we have the moon building into a square with Chiron. That square is going to be coming exact tomorrow. Sun square Chiron. This again is triggering this hero's journey energy, this hero's journey process. So we have all three of these things going on big time today. Okay, so let's break them down. Let's talk about them now, because like I said, these three aspects, all three of them are really sort of doing the same thing, working together in some type of way, sort of intermingled in terms of their themes, their purposes, their functions, what they're trying to do for us in this chapter of the energetic blueprint that's unfolding today. So Mercury, our messenger planet, information, ideas, like communication, in Capricorn, this could also be, putting a highlight or an emphasis on some type of rules or regulations or like things coming down from authority figures, bosses, stuff like that, like words, information, communication, specifically in the form, usually in Capricorn, of, like I said, rules and regulations and stuff like that. We have Venus, which we know, in Pluto, which we know are also in the conjunction in Capricorn. This energy is trying to do so much to rectify any abuses of powers that have been going on, for one, to also show us where we are, sort of out of balance in terms of recognizing the truth of our own internal value and our self-worth and the power that that truly represents in helping us to become sort of like the creators of our own destiny instead of at the subject of an external power source who we are surrendering our power to because we don't feel like we have it within ourselves in order to do it for ourselves. So we need to, get some type of external validation or support from some type of external party or situation because we don't trust that we have that ability within ourselves to do it for ourselves. And so that is sort of what this Venus-Pluto energy, this conjunction, this energy that we've been in for a while is sort of trying to do for us, is trying to help us come back into especially with Venus retrograde right now, a re-recognition of the truth of the value and the worth that we hold inside of us and how that translates into this sense of internal empowerment that can actually fuel our progress, our motivation, our success, our ability to tangibly create and manifest in this reality. That is what Venus and Pluto in conjunction are trying to do. But we have these 3 planets in conjunction in Capricorn right now. And that is telling me that people, regardless of how this energy manifests, people are talking about what we will no longer accept, what we are no longer surrendering to, what we're not doing anymore. Conversations happening about how this can't go on, things can't go on like this anymore, this can't persist, and I'm done. Essentially, I feel like these type of conversations are going to be very common over today, yesterday, and as we head throughout this week. Also, like I said, rules and information coming from bosses, authority, higher ups that is potentially very domineering, controlling, or even cruel could be a highlight or a theme this week as well. Verbalized cruelty with this, you guys, might be something that we encounter. And this aspect of this energy is, one of the first themes that I feel like might be coming up that is also triggering this Sun square Chiron energy that we have this week as well. There may be this generalized theme of people just being like intentionally like cruel or mean, especially with their words or what they're saying this week. And that is because, like I said, we have Venus in the conjunction to Pluto, and this has a tendency of creating abuses in some way or another. And with Mercury there, that could be some type of verbalized abuse or just generally some more cruel language being used for the purpose of harming or hurting in some type of a way and potentially coming from some type of authority. But here's the thing, you guys, like where we're at this point in time, and this is why I was calling this like a test week. We have been through so much. We have shown so much light into our shadows, and we've really been sort of on this hunt to discover our own triggers and to reprogram them essentially over this past few weeks and throughout this entire Sagittarius cycle that is coming to a close this week. We're in the last week of our Sagittarius cycle. And it's more so like an opportunity for us to see how triggered we are by the things that may have bothered us in the past. Any type of this cruel verbalized interaction energy that we may experience this week really more so is for the purpose of testing our own inner resiliency and the strength of our own mind and where we're at in this Chiron hero's journey process of self-mastery and rising out of our victimization. Because at this point in time, we should be coming to a place where other people's thoughts and opinions and projections, because that's really what we're dealing with. Also, the flip side of this energy is usually when we're dealing with the Venus, Pluto, like cruelty aspects, it's always generally more so a projection of something going on inside of that person that they can't deal with. And so they project it outwardly as a way to feel powerful and in control, those Pluto themes. But we're in energy right now of not being able to be overpowered and not being able to be controlled. And the things that worked to put us into submission in the past are no longer having the same effect. So though this energy may be quite harsh that we're dealing with, it's really to show us where we're at and being able to face these things without letting it cause a self-sabotaging situation to go on within us, without allowing it to shake our faith or to shake our steadfastness in our commitment to the truth of our inner value and of our self-worth, those lessons that we are also learning right now. And it really is like, anything that we may come up against in terms of this as we're navigating the energies this week, really, I do feel that it is to see how we react and respond and to see if we allow it to throw us or to shake us. Or on the flip side of that, it may be the last final push that we need to break the spell and help us to break out of whatever thought prison we've been existing in and of ourselves that have allowed us to put ourselves in this position of surrendering our power and accepting less than we deserve. That's really what we're breaking free from right now and through the rest of the duration of this astrological lunar year as we move to the new moon in Aries in April, is breaking free from our own subconscious thought prisons that have been keeping us in a state of attracting less than we truly deserve. And that's being rectified. And we are being given another opportunity this week to really, again, face our demons and see if we are at a point in time now where our victimization is no longer our go-to, where our self-mastery is our go-to, and other people's thoughts and opinions and projections are not the source of our power anymore, and that makes us feel any type of a way. Our own connection to our own truth, our own worth, and our own value and our faith is what should be unshakable at this point in time. So anything that we navigate or experience this week, if it is not serving a role to really wake us up and break the spell and shake us out and help us to realize that overall truth is for the purpose of testing our skills, basically at this point in time, to see if we have come to the place of being able to not be so affected by other people's projections that they may be carrying and to not have our vibrations shaken by other people's energy. So that's really how I'm reading this. Now, the same can be said in terms of the position of the moon today. This, the moon is in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, who is in the conjunction with Pluto, which is bringing up all of these Venus-Pluto themes and emphasizing them. And in the square also from Libra to Capricorn, where these planets are, this is again adding another layer of conflict and tension that could be potentially coming through with these energies today. The moon in Libra, though, this is wanting us to achieve some type of balance, some type of fairness, and rectify anything that is out of balance, specifically in terms of love and relationships and partnerships and finances, with Venus in the conjunction to Pluto, specifically pertaining to power and control dynamics that are no longer in balance in terms of everyone receiving what they deserve out of the situation. The moon in the square, this is us wanting to feel at peace today, wanting to find a resolution and wanting to feel a resolution internally, but knowing Mercury, the moon in square to Mercury, a conflict between the feelings and the thoughts, wanting to feel at peace, wanting to feel as though a resolution is possible, but knowing that things cannot go on in this way any longer. Conflict between thoughts and feelings. This is another aspect that can bring up hurt feelings through people saying intentionally hurtful things, those cruel things coming back up, like I was saying, in order to feel powerful, in order to feel in control. Power struggles surfacing for sure with this. The moon in the square. I mean, these three planets, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto in a conjunction alone have an opportunity to really trigger some really ugly words and behavior. But when we're also adding the square square from the moon in Libra into the mix, this can definitely be triggering some very hurt feelings as a result of some really ugly words or behaviors that we might be experiencing, especially pertaining to relationships, partnerships, and finances. This is just a theme of the energetics right now. But again, like I was saying, anything that surfaces and comes up right now, I really feel like this is a test in our personal resiliency to see where we're at right now, to see what we are willing to take, what we are willing to surrender to, what truly needs to be done in order to find that peace, recreate that balance, rectify whatever power dynamics are not, in a proper balance right now, and alleviate any type of abuses of powers that have been going on in these types of situations in our lives. This is another difficult aspect today, but again, I really feel like it's just a good way to look at and to interact with this dynamic is to use it as that gauge to see truly where we're at and how far we've come and what we still have left to work on and what we still have left to do going forward as we close out this year over the next couple of months. The third thing, and this plays right into it all, like I said, we have the sun today at 8 degrees of Capricorn, forming a square to Chiron and Aries, 9 degrees of Aries. This energy is going to be coming exact tomorrow. But again, the same thing, the sun in the square to Chiron. This again is Chiron rules the wounded healer teacher archetype. When Chiron is triggered, especially by a harsh aspect like a square, it has a tendency of really triggering our wounds, but it's for the purpose of exposing them, helping us to gain awareness of them, helping us to go through this process of healing and overcoming and coming into a place of wisdom gained through experience and self-mastery, and then going on to be like a guiding light and a teacher for others that are going along this same path, this same hero's journey, this same trajectory. And one by one, this is how we clear and overcome our trauma collectively and elevate our vibration so that we can go through this paradigm shift into the age of Aquarius. And that is what is going on right now. But this is another major week in this process. And again, it makes sense with all of this potentially more like difficult energy we're experiencing today, especially with the moon in the square to this conglomeration of planets in Capricorn, Chiron and the sun forming the square as well. This is definitely talking about our wounds being triggered, but for the purpose of breaking through that state of victimhood into that state of self-mastery. And it's just coming through all over the place today. And ultimately, this is a good thing. I mean, we have the sun today at 8 degrees of Capricorn. The Sabian symbol, or that energy described in a picture form, is birds in the house singing happily. There's a lot to be joyful about right now. And this is, again, talking about birds, talking about having wings, the elevated perspective. From the elevated perspective, there's a lot to be happy about right now, especially we have surpassed the last great climax of the year. We've made it through. We are going through this energetic shift. We are going through this great awakening. We are gaining our wings. There's a lot to be joyous and happy about right now, but we still have battles left to fight. And these are the battles with the demons of the past that have been keeping us from coming to the realization of the truth of the potential and the value that we hold inside of us and the resources that gives us to really fuel our own experience and existence going forward outside of the constraints and the support of the Matrix. That is what we're doing. We're breaking free from the Matrix. That movie couldn't have actually come out at a more synchronistic time this year, because that really is what's happening and what's going on collectively. So, and I mean, the Earth today is also located at 8 degrees of Cancer. That Sabian symbol is a group of rabbits in human clothes walk as if on parade, like evolving and metamorphosizing from one form into another more highly evolved form. The Sabian symbols, again, are talking about it today. And we have, you guys, Venus for this activation with the moon in Libra squaring these planets at 25 degrees of Capricorn, a store filled with precious oriental rugs. Again, this is talking about taking an inventory of the store of value that we truly hold inside of us and the precious value that represents. We have Mercury today at a woman entering a convent. The mind is our temple. Only we need to purify our thoughts today and only allow the purified thoughts in alignment with our faith and in alignment with God into the temple of our mind. This is very important as we may be experiencing these harsh words or these more cruel interactions today. But Mercury in the conjunction with Pluto, you guys, this is also like the ultimate power of the mind. The mind is extremely, extremely, extremely powerful this week as we have Mercury coming into the conjunction with Pluto. You know, early this week, to start this week, it's the mind and the heart in the conjunction with the Lord of the underworld ruling, you know, the greatest source of power. And there's an alignment between the mind and the heart. And also this power speaking to how powerful our mind and our heart in combination are to help us conquer our demons and come into the true power that is represented by the true value and the nature and the love that we hold inside of us, and the potential of our mind to, or our potential to come into mastery over our mind and use our thoughts in such a way that fuel like our ability to create and provide abundance and value to the greater good, and therefore receive that back as a reflection. And the resonance principle and the law of attraction and all of that, everything is coming into play with this week. But you know, those Sabian symbols are interesting. We also have Mars today at 11 degrees of Sagittarius, the lamp of physical enlightenment at the left temple, again talking about the powerful nature of our mind and using our willpower, using our energy and putting it towards our mind, what we can truly overcome and what we can truly, the power that we can truly step into to create through our will in alignment with our heart. Venus in the conjunction as well, to break ourselves out of these toxic cycles, to break ourselves free from these constraints of the mind that have been limiting us in any type of a way, to truly step into our power and to become these self-fueling, self-regulating, self-sustaining systems that are able to perpetuate this beautiful and amazing existence filled with abundance and fulfillment without the need of plugging into the matrix. And that is the trajectory. That is where we're going. Also today, you guys, another really beautiful thing that we have going on, aside from, you know, the moon is also doing something else. The moon, after forming the square to those planets in Capricorn, will also form a trine to Jupiter in the very end of Aquarius. Jupiter is at the last degree of Aquarius, and Jupiter will be moving to Pisces tomorrow. This is a huge energetic shift. But, you know, with the moon today in the trine to Jupiter still in Aquarius, even though we may be facing down some really like harsh demons today, there is still this expanded sense of faith, hope, optimism that all is well and natural order and balance is truly being restored. Remember, Jupiter is still at that degree. Moonlit fields, once Babylon, now blooming white. The natural order is being restored. And there's an emotional alignment with this today. Even though, you know, even though we might be up against a lot today, there is still this inherent optimism internally, this hope that exists despite it all. And that's because we know that what we're doing is right, and we know that it is aligned with the truth that we need to experience the freedom to create in conjunction with God and universe as we make this paradigm and energetic shift right now. The balance is being restored with this energy. We are just in the process of breaking the chains to what we've been bound to, and we are also healing the root issues that enabled those experiences. That's another thing with this combination of energetics today. And with Saturn and Uranus still an exact square, we can't forget that this is also still going on as well, you guys. Like, that cannot be underestimated. We are still in this break the chains from all that binds you energy. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. While we have all of this energy going on in Capricorn, and Chiron and the sun are forming the square, really trying to show us what the root issues are so that we can heal them and stop those experiences from perpetuating. Like I said, Saturn and Uranus still an exact square, though just by degree. Uranus will actually be retrograding back to 11 degrees of Taurus tomorrow, ending the exact square. But we got a lot of big energy coming at us again tomorrow. Overall, though, today for you, Overall, though, you guys, for today, there is, it is just this duality of aspects that are kind of triggering us into our pain and our wounding so we can see how far we've come and how good we're doing in the process of healing, overcoming, and going through this energetic shift, this energetic transference. With all of this Capricorn energy and Pluto as well, there may definitely be some more attempts to lock, restrict, rules, restrictions, limitations, harsh treatment coming from governments, leaders, bosses, authority figures, stuff like that could be very relevant over this week as well. Now, let me briefly talk about the energy that we had going on yesterday because I don't want to skip a day. Yesterday, the sun was at 7 degrees of Capricorn. That Sabian symbol is a veiled prophet speaks, seized by the power of a god. We had the moon in Libra again yesterday. The moon squared the sun in Capricorn yesterday and also trined Saturn in Aquarius. Yesterday, there definitely could have been some themes of conflict or tension that we were working through as well. But also, the energy yesterday was quite supportive of getting things done, focused work, being efficient, inspired to set some goals as well with the moon in the trine to Saturn. However, the moon was in Libra yesterday, as it is today, ruled by Venus. And yesterday, Venus was an exact still conjunction to Pluto. So that harsh treatment from authority figure is very possible. Or, this energy, we have to be careful because it also could be pushing us to be quite harsh on ourselves. And that's really not the energy that we need right now. We actually need to be having as much self-love for ourselves as possible and giving ourselves as much self-love as possible as we go through this energy right now. So we definitely want to watch out for that. But that energy, just harsh treatment from bosses and authority figures, strict disciplinarians and stuff like that could have been possible this week. Also, yesterday, becoming aware of imbalances in power dynamics and relationships and partnerships. Again, we have that today because of that moon in Libra yesterday. Pain coming through loss or pain coming through love and money. Again, another theme for today. Really a lot of the same themes yesterday or today that we had yesterday as well. And definitely clashes with authority figures, people breaking free and speaking their truth. So really yesterday, I guess I picked a pretty good day to combine both reports for Monday and Tuesday because yesterday we really did have a lot of the exact same themes going on as we do for the energetics in play today. Now, I want to talk quickly about what we have coming at us the rest of the week before I get into the tarot really quick. We had a really powerful message come out in the tarot cards this morning. But tomorrow, you guys, is going to be a really, really big day. There's a lot going on tomorrow. Tomorrow, the moon is going to be in Scorpio opposing Uranus, squaring Saturn, activating that Uranus-Saturn square by T-square. This is probably going to be some quite tense energy. We are also going to have Mercury in a conjunction with Venus exactly tomorrow. The sun is going to be in the exact square to Chiron. Mars is going to be an exact sextile to Saturn. Jupiter is changing signs, moving into Pisces, and Uranus is changing degrees, retrograding back. So tomorrow is a huge day of shifts and changes. Things could really be hitting the fan tomorrow in some type of a big way, a huge alignment with the mind and the heart driving it, and wisdom gained through experience. This whole same themes really kind of coming to a head again tomorrow. Thursday, we have the exact Mercury-Pluto conjunction. Very, very powerful information day. We are also going to have the moon in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, forming a sextile to both that Mercury-Pluto conjunction as well as a square to Jupiter. And we, moving on Friday, we're going to have the moon conjuncting Mars. That's going to be a very fiery, heated, emotional day. Not too much Saturday, but then we have our new moon coming up on Sunday. The new moon in Capricorn will be coming up on Sunday morning. So that is what we have the rest of the week. That's what stuff is looking like the rest of the week. Now let's talk about the tarot cards that came out. We got all swords today, you guys. I'm shuffling this morning, asking God to clarify what's the collective energy that we are dealing with to start this week off. The first card that came out loud and proud, Queen of Swords. Second card that came out, Eight of Swords. Third card that came out, 10 of Swords in reverse. And then I looked at the bottom of the deck. What is the bottom of the deck? The Page of Swords. Like, holy swords. Like, oh my gosh, like so much air energy. But again, like considering that we are in a week of Mercury conjunct Pluto, The mind, thoughts, very, very, very powerful this week. So what this is telling me, you guys, first and foremost, there's, there's some things going on here. We're at a point right now collectively where we really, really, really need to be slicing ourselves free from any of these constraints that have been binding us in thought prisons. Anywhere that our mind has been holding us back from activating our true potential and having the awakening that we need to at this point in time, it is time to cut ourselves free. This is also, to me, talking about being very logical about things, setting strong boundaries, standing in our power, and not being afraid to speak our truth and say what's on our mind. But definitely, we need to be cutting ourselves free from any limiting thoughts at this point in time, because we are not going to be letting our thoughts be the death of us, okay? The 10 of Swords in reverse. We are not going to let, at this point in time, these self-sabotaging thoughts continue to self-sabotage. We are slicing ourselves free in a big and powerful way from the thought prisons that have been sabotaging us. And it is coming from a fresh perspective, fresh ideas, a new viewpoint, a brand new way of seeing and understanding things, an epiphany and awakening. So this is pretty clear. There is some type of epiphany or awakening that we are having collectively. Hello, the Great Awakening. It is putting us in our true power. It is allowing us to slice through the chains that have been binding us in terms of our mind, keeping us sabotaged from being able to stand in our truth and activate our destiny and our potential, which is what we are doing now as we move into the age of Aquarius. So very powerful message coming through in terms of the tarot cards today, but that really is what the goal has been with the energy that we are coming out of this week and as we head into our new moon. So interesting. And with all of those swords, like, it's very ironic that all sword cards would come up. So really there is a major, major, major emphasis, you guys, on thoughts in the mind this week. Remember the degree of Mercury today, the woman entering the convent. The mind is our temple. We should really only be letting purified thoughts in alignment with God into our minds this week. And I feel like that's really important. Now I have another minute. I'm going to draw us a synchronicity card. Oh yeah, I wrote the power of the mind. Cut ourselves free from the thoughts that keep us trapped and not allowing our thoughts to destroy us any longer. So yes. Okay, so this is a message from God that we need to hear right now that can give us some inspiration or just a message that can help us with the energetics this week. This is the card. It says, God will guide you. He who overcomes shall inherit all things, Revelations. Be a channel for good of God. The woman entering the convent. Let life, love, harmony, and understanding of God flow through you. Praise God in the midst of you and know every problem is solved by God. When disharmony, discord, or disappointment appear, be assured God is guiding you through it and will reveal the way to achieve your goal. So this is really beautiful advice that is right in alignment with the energetics today. We need to keep our minds clear and in a good place and put our faith in God and rise out of that victimhood into self-mastery with whatever difficulties we are traversing. Thank you guys so much for watching.